At a point the other night, I'm sure you heard this say he thought not having the young guys hurt your energy. You did bring them back. Is that the reason why? Was it always the plan to bring them back?
Plan was to bring them back, depending on how things were going in the trip. It was most likely going to be to fly them to Detroit after today's Santa Cruz practice, and we decided after Clay was banged up the other night to bring them back today to have them available for tonight's game. So they flew in late last night and they're good to go.
What did you think about that from Draymond the other day? Saying, I mean, he really feels like they bring juice to the team. Even
Yeah,
when
they do. I mean, they're great. They're on the bench cheering every game up, and you know I see it on tape when I'm watching the games over on my computer. I mean, it does stand out, and the vets like having rookies around too because they force them to do stuff. I think that's a big part of it.
What have you learned about that particular time of the game to get the job done, and how have you guys done it so consistently?
Well, the best teams are the ones that can get stops at crunch time, and you know it's hard to be a good team, especially on the road if you're not defending well. Last year was a good example of that. It was a bizarre year. We had a great offense at home and terrible defense. I mean, great defense at home, terrible defense on the road. It made no sense, but when you could feel it during games. We just couldn't get stops at key times, and so all the best teams that I've been on have been able to get stops. And then, you know, at the other end of the floor, it's really about getting organized and getting good possessions, not turning it over, not giving your opponent opportunities off of mistakes, you know, to score in transition. And if you have the game under control, you're taking care of the ball, and you're you know putting your opponent in the half court down the stretch, then your defense can take over.
Cavs have had 6 different starting lineups in 6 games as a coach. How difficult can that be to manage, and what's kind of the key to getting things back on track and reincorporating players?
Well, I mean, every team's different, and every set of circumstances different. It's hard when it's at the beginning of the season because that's a time of the year where you're really searching anyway to try to figure out, you know, rotations and so it's been a tough thing for JB to have to juggle this early on. But you know, the thing that I always feel with the league is that it's such a long season that inevitably you're just going to have some spells like this. Everybody does. Just so happens for them it's the first 6 games of the year, you know. But I think back to 2 years ago, we won the championship. There was a point in February or March where we were banged up. We lost 6 games in a row, but we recovered, obviously. And so the main thing is just weathering the storm and you know getting everybody to just continue to compete and trust that you know the journey will get a little smoother as you go.